Hot diggity damn motherfuckers, we're back with another episode of the World 101 podcast. Before we get into all of the assorted nonsense, as per usual, you can and should find us at our home at world11.podbean.com, all spelled out, all one word. Additionally, you can pick up the audio versions of the show on Apple Podcasts. I keep wanting to say iTunes, but iTunes is dead, so fuck iTunes. So Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and then the video versions of the show on both Twitch and our handy dandy YouTube channel, where you should subscribe, follow, turn on notifications, and all the other assorted things that you do with video services as such. And then, of course, we've got our assorted social media things like Facebook and Twitter and those things. We exist there.
We're there, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So
are we there?
Well, we're there. We're
days,
just
we exist. So as always, I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Today it's warm, so I'm celebrating the return of the full body beard. Joining me tonight
It's a sight to behold.
is Josh the LeGroux.
hello.
And Kathy Fortnite fans.
I was gonna say, you okay over there? Did you forget my name?
No, I was
He's
deciding
just
where to go with
thinking. He's
it.
thinking.
What's my name, bitch?
Well, you're not. We're not streaming this evening, so
Yeah, you forgot my name.
you
Just
forced
admit
an
it.
on the fly change.
No, you could have just
So-
said my name. Didn't have to
I
add
could
anything
have, but it wasn't going to happen.
That actually
Aw.
makes Larry's attire even more disturbing since we're not streaming.
It does. Oh no, the video version.
The video will go up though, so people will see it.
It
Yep.
exists in all its naked glory. What are you gonna do? Remember, kids, we are not safe for Mixer by their terms of service.
Right.
So
Well, not for kids. Oh no, that's right. You can't go shirtless.
yeah.
Show too much skin.
Oh no, it's not just too much skin. We've got full nip right there. It's happening.
I don't think it
So-
applies to men as much.
I don't know. That now feels sexist. Uh
I
oh.
know.
I
I
don't-
know. I
Stepping in
know.
it.
You
I don't
better-
think it. I don't think it says in that terms of service.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
say. I
true.
didn't see either.
That's true. I don't think it's very specific.
Mhm.
So please forgive me for my sexist presumptions and
No, you didn't have sexist presumptions. We presumed that Mixer was sexist.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what we were doing.
anyhow.
So let's get straight to oh my god, video games. Josh, what have you been playing?
Not anything at all. It's been very sad in my world.
Oh,
Very sad. I've actually
time-
dabbled.
Galia Lost.
No, not even that. I've actually been looking forward because Gears Pop coming out tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to playing that a little bit. And I'm pretty sure that Kathleen's gonna look forward to that too, but right now she seems
Which
like
one?
she's Gears Pop.
Never heard. I don't think I heard of that one.
It's a
the
Gears of
War
War-
Funko Pop game.
It's a Gears of War Funko Pop game on mobile.
It actually looked kind of decent.
I did
Yeah.
not see that. How
It's
did
a-
I miss this?
It's coming out tomorrow. So it's a player
Oh.
versus it's a PvP, believe it or not. You play against another person. And it looks pretty awesome. I watched
did
some
not-
of the stuff on it. So
Okay, I totally did not see that. I don't know how I missed it.
it's coming out tomorrow, so check it out
Oh,
because
I will check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. I think I'm gonna play it a little bit.
Cool.
My normal gaming kind of stuff has been kind of thrown to the side. My wife was gone for a while, so I had to man the fort here, and I had to take care of 4 dogs, and so I was kind of
That's entirely
was-
too many dogs.
yeah, because 2 of them are ours and 2 of them are my in-laws, and so I thought, you know what, I better make sure they live, so I took care of everything. Yeah, I don't want to.
Well,
I
if
don't want
they
to be
did,
that
we'd
guy.
be in Chinese food for weeks.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
No.
You know.
Don't.
So, I took care of all that, and I've only played a little bit. I actually did play some just small amounts of Hollow Knight and Robot Name Fight. Not much, but just a little bit here and there, just to kind of whet the appetite. But that's been pretty much it for me.
And Kathy, what have you been playing?
No surprise. Fortnite, obviously.
Mhm. We can see the glare.
Yeah, and you can see my frustration as I sometimes silently curse. Not very well, but yeah, no, it's actually the season's getting more and more interesting as they keep bringing back more and more old places and more different things to the map. They got rid of an area, so I anticipate season 11 is going to see some big map changes. They added a new item which I think is really a lot of fun to use. It's called the Junk Rift, and what it is you throw it and like a tear opens up in the sky and all these junk items drop down on the player where you threw it. So I mean, people can get taken out with anchors, porta potties, toilets, you name it. It just falls down from the sky. It is actually quite humorous. And plus, it's really good for like end game when you're trying to break down buildings because it'll drop it from the highest point. So if you have, so even if you throw it low, it could take out people who are standing up in towers and who've built these big structures. So it's an interesting weapon. It's definitely one of the more lately I have not liked new weapons that they've been introducing. This one's actually a lot of fun. So, and it fits with the Fortnite theme. Other than that, haven't been playing much else. Apex I got back into because for a limited time up until August 27th, they have solos. So you can play solo mode, which is what I've been asking for because I hate playing with a team because I always make everybody mad because I don't know what I'm doing. Oops. And with that, it's been fun because I get a chance to play as some of the other characters and get a chance to practice their special moves and all that other stuff and without worrying about pissing off people. Plus, I did end up buying the Battle Pass again for this season because we're in Season 2's Battle Pass. So it helps being able to do some of the challenges where you have to land at certain areas. I don't have to worry about my team or trying to force my team to go there or separating from my team. Surprisingly, I have more wins in Apex this season and I still don't have a win for Fortnite. So go figure that one out. And I suck at Fortnite. Shows you I got great teammates. But the other thing is Dr. Mario World on
oh yeah.
So I got to the point where I played all the levels that you could.
Yeah.
So I was going back and trying to 3-star everything. Well, today they uploaded some more levels, which is I'm stuck on the next level because I can't complete it for some strange reason. But I'm still intrigued. So I've been playing that regularly, and then just handful of like puzzle games and stuff. Nothing fancy, coloring books. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of boring.
Well, let's see. What have I played? I dinked around with it and then got subsequently pissed off at Runbow.
Runbow. What do you think of that? I never really got into that game.
Okay, so I'm going to take it back a couple years here.
Okay.
My introduction to Runbow was I bought it on the Wii U. I played some multiplayer online with Adrian and a few others way back when, and it was okay. And I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something here. Like, There's a control mechanic that I don't quite get. And so I was fucking around with it on the Xbox today, and I was playing the single player, and I still feel like there's just wonky controls. It feels fucking wonky.
I feel that same thing. I never got into Runbow. Like I tried hard to get into that game.
Yeah. Like I can't get it to like super jump consistently.
Yeah.
It feels floppy.
That's bad.
Yeah. I was disappointed. I'm like, maybe there's something I'm not getting. And I was screwing with it and I'm still not getting it. And I got through a bunch of stages, and then I just got to a point where I was really getting pissed off with it. I'm like, fuck this, like quit. So I turned it off and I switched over to Race the Sun.
Oh, okay.
For a little while. Okay. Which is always a winner. I mean, it's a good 15-minute game, and I found a little tunnel in there that I didn't remember being in one of the areas. I'm like, oh, that's neat. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's going to kill me because I'm out of the sun the whole time because of the fucking tunnel. Neat. Like, cool. I don't remember this, but neat. So I streamed Hollow Knight for about 3 hours today, realizing I am just doing everything grossly in the wrong order. Like, I don't really care. It's more fun just kind of freshly wandering again. Like, it's big enough, it is vast enough that given that I hadn't played it in quite some time, that, you know, it really is kind of like playing it for the first time again. Not entirely. Like, I still know a lot of the rudimentary stuff, but like specifics of, you know, where to go and when and in what order have all kind of fallen out of my head. And I'm actually really just enjoying getting lost in it again and just repeatedly getting my ass kicked because I'm sitting there pushing into corners that I just shouldn't be in. Yeah. Like, I pushed all the way to Kingdom's Edge before I ever hit the Crystal Peak.
Yeah, I did that too.
So
that was a bad mistake. That's like, get out, get out, get out.
Yeah, I thought about dinking around in the Coliseum of Fools even too before I went back to the Crystal Peak. But nah. When I get back there, like I was screwing around in the basin, and God, Deep Nest is always a mess without the fucking map.
Oh God, I hate that without the map.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because I'm in the same boat, and actually I found stuff I haven't found in my previous playthrough. So that's been kind of fun. Like, ooh, new area. Oh, how did I get to here? I have no freaking clue.
Right.
So new charms, new stuff. Yeah. It's actually been kind of fun. So
cool.
Yeah. My standing theory was always that Deep Nest is, and it still is, very oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
But part of my standing theory was that Deep Nest kind of put up the signs of keep out, but I don't think Deep Nest actually wants you to stay out. Deep Nest wants you to actually come in so it can fucking eat you.
Well, yeah. I mean, considering what's all down there, and there are plenty of monsters who are trying to eat you, poor little guy.
Well, and I love the fact, too, that it's in there. Like, it's not just, you know, like, subtle lore, but it's actually in plain as day, black and white at one point, that they mentioned that the creatures of Deep Nest rejected the rule of the Pale King, which is why they are that way. They're that, like, feral ass, yeah, you know, gnashing teeth and spikes and shit, rather than any semblance of, like, civilized, you know, culture like the rest of Hallow Nest, which I think is really fucking cool.
That's still one of my favorite places to visit. I especially love the mechanic where you have the spiders coming from the foreground instead of the background.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the weirdest thing. The first time that happened, it freaked me out. I'm like, what the heck?
It is cool.
So, I mean, it is, again, very creative mechanic, very creative area. And very creepy.
Oh, God, yes. But I managed to wander my way around Deep Nest enough to finally find the tram pass, and then I know I've missed a bunch of shit because I'm grossly underpowered for what I should be, and it's kicking my ass as a result. But I just keep hammering on it anyways.
But I didn't watch. I've been yelling at you. Do this, do that. Where'd you go? You forgot this.
You would have, but I was like, I don't care. I'm just so. But I'm after we finish recording tonight, I'm torn between going back to that for a little bit, or maybe branching off and actually, I don't know, maybe some Euphoria or possibly some SteamWorld Dig 2.
All good games.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking I could take SteamWorld for a spin on the Switch. I mean, I really doesn't make any difference. I've got. God, the music in SteamWorld Dig 2 is so good.
Yeah.
It's got like that super chill soundtrack. I really just want like a 30-minute MP3 of that song that's all like mega chill. So, but yeah. So there's been some of that. Hypothetically, my copy of The Messenger is supposed to ship this week.
Well, yeah, mine too, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know. Now I need to check on it. Actually, I've looked at that a lot.
I've been looking like last 2 weeks, and they've been radio silent on it. So I don't know if it's going to get.
Who the fuck was that from? Now that was that.
Now,
that
did you got the other one? You got Super Air, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And I got limited run
Super rare.
because I went to limited run. I think on mine.
Is it strictly limited?
Or is it strictly limited or is it super rare?
I don't remember. I gotta look in my email now.
Because you got the other one I didn't get.
Messenger. I have spelled that wrong. There's search email. Who the
And
fuck? Is it?
I apologize to anybody listening because now
Special Reserve. That's who it was.
Why were you apologizing
Yeah, I
to
got an
anybody
email last
listening?
week.
because we're like looking stuff up and
That's okay. I'll provide entertainment with my
oh yeah, you
yeeps
got
and yeeps and all that other stuff that
that's
you know.
right, Larry. You got
Special
special reserve,
Reserve.
and
That's what.
I got limited run.
And I
Yeah.
got nothing, everybody, because I did not care.
But yeah, I got an email last week from Special Reserve that said it was shipping this week.
Okay, so I've gotten absolutely nothing from limited run that says anything. So
So that's what I've heard.
Hello, give me that.
That was the last I heard, anyways. I'll put it that way.
so let me look at this up for myself
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people have been asking about it.
Yep. So the silence you hear is everybody looking up their stuff.
Yeah, we're all.
Well, they are. I'm just sitting here playing my game because oh shit, somebody's here. Somebody's here. I'm gonna die. Ah!
Yeah, it was supposed
Yeah.
to ship by July 2019. So
Originally, yeah. I know I
Thinking-
saw an update a while
thinking
back.
it's past that right now.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Well, I would say
Damn it.
LRG wasn't going to have it before.
They're all being
Special-
published by Special Reserve. It's just
Exactly. different
LRG was yeah. So if you're getting it, then I'll probably get it a week or so from now. So
And that was the other thing that stopped me from ordering from LRG on this one, because there's supposed to be like a slipcover and some
Yeah.
other stuff with the
Yeah.
special, and I couldn't find confirmation that was going to be in the LRG version.
right.
So I was a little I'm like, no, I want the nice hardcover thing.
No, I agree with you.
So
I just wanted to do a limited run because I thought it would be different.
right, and the artwork is supposed to be, because they were putting it out a couple of places.
Yes.
Special Reserve, Limited. I think there was one other, at least.
I think there was
getting an alternate artwork as well.
I do think that like Best Buy even was getting like a special run of them. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but that might have been Curse of the Blood Moon or whatever.
Oh, Bloodstained.
Bloodstain, yeah.
Yeah, Curse of the Moon. So, but yeah, that's one on my list. I was really hoping it would actually show up by
Yeah.
the time
Sure.
I was still on vacation to
Sure. Because
sit and fucking play it, because
Mhm.
I've been waiting and waiting.
I have
and
too.
waiting.
I have not played this, and I've been waiting for this patiently so I can
Right.
play. I want to play this game, but
I mean, like you said, this is one that I skipped the digital on because I'm like, gut
I did-
says
I
this will
did
get
as
a hard
well.
copy. I'm not double dipping. It'll come. It's part of the reason I haven't bought Bastion again on my Switch, because I'm like, LRG's bound to do it because they've done Bastion for PS4 and Vita.
we hope so, right? Yeah.
I'd be shocked if it doesn't eventually, but so yeah, I mean, it'll be here. So, but that's most of what I've been poking around at.
At least you got to
I-
play games.
Right. Well, that and the other thing is that Kathy and I got to play some games that weren't specifically of the video type, but
Yep.
they do have video game counterparts
Yep.
that are pretty much identical. Kathy and I got a fair bit of both Carcassonne and Catan in this past weekend when she came to visit.
Yes. Oh, it was so good to play board games. Ugh.
Mm. So we had talked about breaking out Alhambra, but the bitch of it was I haven't played Alhambra in so long. I don't even remember the rudimentary fucking rules. Like, I'd have had to sit there and read the manual for 45 minutes first before I could go back to playing Alhambra. But no, there was some definite back and forthing in both Catan and Carcassonne between her and I.
Mhm. He did
I
not
wish-
kick my butt in all of them. I did win a couple of times, so just pointing that out.
I did wish that we had a bigger group that we could have gotten off a round or two of Pandemic Legacies.
Yeah.
You could have tried it. Like I said, you can play it with 2 people, but it's really best with a full table of 4.
Yeah.
So, just because of the way it lays out and having the 4 turns,
Right.
or the 4 different people running specialties really helps. I mean, you burn the deck faster, but if you do it right, you can still compensate for it.
Mhm.
So, but
Well, maybe sometime, if somebody hadn't backed out,
yeah, we're not gonna mention Eddie's name or anything.
Right.
I
Oh,
wasn't going
yeah.
to.
No, I
You
know
did. Why would
No,
I?
we aren't. I even said we weren't gonna mention Eddie's name. Didn't you catch that?
Yeah, okay, whatever. That's his fault. It was his loss.
So,
He missed
yeah,
out on a
that's
lot.
all sushi. Oh god, and God, it was a good weekend over at fucking Evil Check this time. Whew. I think we
It was
sat
good.
there for a solid hour and a half.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, so much food. So, and then
Yeah, we had to digest the food for like an hour and a half before we could move.
right, and then thankfully we didn't have any booze on hand, so that we couldn't get shit-faced playing our YouTube drinking game that we were inventing.
Oh God.
Comrades, give us your money.
God.
Oh fuck everything. I still haven't gone back and watched the rest of that. I might do that
You
tonight.
need to watch. I think it's more hilarious if you watch the commentary. People who comment, like just the.
Oh no, I want to see the full thing and see how far downhill that really goes. So I'm just saying.
You don't want to go down the rabbit hole in this case.
It's too late.
It's
I already
horrible.
started. It's
He-
too damn
he's-
late.
He's going there. Yep.
All right.
But yeah.
Anything else?
So, I feel like there was something else. I don't remember what. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. I do know too that, like I said, and that's part of the reason I want to play SteamWorld on my Switch is one to get to run through the capture card, and that's another thing too that I was really waiting. I was really hoping Messenger would be here, so that way I could just full blind on Messenger on stream, because a lot of what I've been playing is stuff that I've played before, or at least started, and I don't really have much that I haven't started that I want to play on stream per se. Messenger is one of those. But I know that I'm sitting on a handful of things on like my GameCube that I really want to play, but I need to get my mitts on the adapter for the RCA to HDMI to run it into the card. But like I'm literally staring at my games that I want to play. So, because those are always fun and relaxing, and so I can do those without thinking about them too much, and I can easily balance playing those and actually kind of monitoring and watching what's happening on the fucking channel at the same time.
Thinking is too hard.
Thinking is hard. Why do you think I do this show?
No comment. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there, Josh.
So, but in any case, no, I think that's most of what I've been playing. Like I said, I was playing some Carcassonne on the Xbox here after last weekend. It's the 360 version, but it runs backwards compatible by way of digital on Xbox One. And like I said, I think really the only thing that I like better about it digital than I do twofold. One, I don't have to try and harangue somebody else into playing it with me.
Sure.
I can just boot it up and play it by myself against the computer.
Well, you sound like you have such a hard time finding people to play games with.
I do.
Everybody does.
The board games.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like
gosh.
I've got a group that we've done like several months of the pandemic campaign with
Yeah.
consecutively, and I
Yeah.
can't fucking get them all together in the same place at the same time for the last like 3 months to save my life.
Yeah,
Aw.
that's the
So it's
problem
just
with
been
being an
sitting
adult.
in the box.
Yeah,
Well, life happens. That's the problem.
being an adult sucks.
It does. It's just it is what it
Believe,
is.
yeah, it does suck.
If I had
Yeah.
like millions of dollars, it would be
Mhm.
great because I wouldn't have to do shit. Then I still wouldn't play games.
Now, I will say
If
because
I
I
had $1
told
million,
Kathy
I
about
know
this.
exactly what I'd be doing. But anyhow, what?
I told Kathy about this when she was here because we were talking about Pandemic and the Legacy series. And I don't remember if you were around for talking about this, Josh. So I'm going to reshare this because
No.
I still think this is a fucking brilliant. This is a. I wouldn't even call it a microtransaction per se.
Oh, this, yes.
It's too big to be a microtransaction. I'm talking like $10 a pop,
Okay.
and so I, I would happily pay 25 bucks for a digital version of Pandemic Legacy or any of the Legacy games, specifically Pandemic. But there's a few other games that have the Legacy moniker to them. Like there's a Legacy version of Risk. So and if you want to go a little more traditional board game, you can get into Risk and get the Legacy thing going for it. Which for those not familiar, um, the Legacy series of board games takes a established board game like Pandemic or Risk, or I think there's one or a couple of others if I remember correctly. Um, but instead of just playing the game and then you finish and then you wipe the board and you start everything all over, they build game over game. There's a full campaign, and
Yeah.
so yeah, and so the board and characters and stuff will like permanently change and alter as you play through, and it's really fucking neat. And at the end of it, you've got a 100% unique, permanently altered version of the game to play off of. It's really cool. But here's the bitch of it: once it's done, it's fucking done. If you want to play a campaign of that again, you've got to buy a whole nother fucking like season 1 box again. Which I do know for a fact that they do have season 2 of Pandemic Legacy out, so you can continue on. But if you wanted to just like start over and do the whole thing again and see how it plays out differently, you've got to buy the whole fucking $70 box again.
Hmm.
So my thought, my brilliant idea here for the board gaming community is as follows: give me like a 25, maybe even $30 version of Pandemic. Like if it's 20, it should be like 25 and 10 or 30 and 5. I don't know which, but it's somewhere in there. But base game say for $25, and then you play through the legacy campaign for the whole year. You get to the end, and then you can spend like $10 to open a new save file, so you can keep your permanently finished one, and then you can start all over again with a full reset and without losing your save on the other one, versus having to only have the physical option where you have to go out and spend another $70 to get a brand new fresh set to play off of again. I would be happy with that. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
Not to mention the there is a certain convenience aspect to digital to it, keeping track of all the rules and everything as you go along, because let me tell you, they do start to get a little convoluted, because
Mhm.
as you play through the legacy version, new rules get added in, like new mechanics and shit get introduced, round over, month over month. And so it does get to be a bit to keep track of, especially if you're going like big stretches between games, like I have. And so, like I was telling Kathy, one of the things I like about the digital version of Carcassonne specifically is that um, the it makes it way easier to read the farms on Carcassonne, because it highlights the whole fucking farm, versus like when we're playing the actual physical board game, you're kind of like tracing your hand around the board to go, all right, is this actually claimed or is this not connected to anybody else's
Mhm.
shit yet? And what does it actually hit and what points am I going to get off of it? And so it's kind of nice to not have to work, to just glance at it and go, okay, I can see it all. Beautiful. In an instant. Cool. It does kind of expedite certain things. So, I mean, there's always a side of me that will always love like clearing off the fucking dining room table and spreading out across and having this whole massive sprawl. But, you know, there's something to be said for just the ease and convenience of just pulling it up digital and going, cool, I can get into a game without, you know, because God, Pandemic's like a 15, 20-minute setup to get the board just up and ready.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's a beast. And God, it's not even like the most involved board game out there, but it's moderate. It's middling. Yeah. But anyways, so also Kathy, by the way, because I know we were talking about Flux, when I was rolling through the grocery store today, I saw a Marvel version of Flux.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. It was at Walmart. It's like $15.
Huh. Yeah, we didn't get to play that one. I'm a little disappointed. Oh, well.
Oh. We'll get an opportunity.
Maybe.
We'll
see.
I have no doubts it will happen. But in any case, so yeah, that's what I've been playing. So with that said, unless anybody's got anything else, I'm assuming not, because everyone's being quiet. No. I think that means it's a perfectly good place for us to take a break. And we're back with the third half of the show. Kathy's trying to figure out how to count fingers.
Okay, time out. No, Oh, you know what? I had this problem when I streamed yesterday. I kept counting. This was 3. This was 1. This was 3. For some reason, this was 5. I couldn't count. Oh my God, it was hilarious. I was trying to count and I just couldn't. My fingers and my numbers were not matching up. I was embarrassed.
Skype is also making Kathy a South Park Canadian today, too.
Yep.
So, it's kind of amazing. It did it again.
Fun to boot that.
It's a boot.
No.
So.
Hey, I actually am part Canadian. I have relatives up there, so.
Well, see, Skype knows.
Yep.
What you didn't know is that Skype has been bought out by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. So
that's supposed to be funny.
The guys that made South Park.
Oh my God, Larry.
And they fucking did it again, right?
I just love the fact that you think I didn't know who the hell those guys were.
I don't assume it. It's a force of habit with conversations with Molly, because if I like name drop that shit, she doesn't know the names, and so I have to give context to a lot of the time.
Okay, but I'll ask for context. I will ask for it if I need it. Okay? Holy fuck. Oh, Marshmallow just got me. Damn it. You fucking Marshmallow.
Well, it's summertime. Go roast him.
No, he doesn't get roasted.
So,
anyhow, sorry, everybody. Getting off track again, as always.
I was actually going to get off track with something else, the finger counting thing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, did you ever play the Neverhood?
No, I did not.
Josh, you might remember that. You didn't. I would say you played it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you might remember this. Willie Trombone in the videos. That was one of my favorite bits. He's like, it was the dawn of the third age of man.
Yep, and he's like, oh, whatever.
Actually, I was thinking of like the Monty Python bit. 1, 2, 4, 3, sir. 3.
The holy hand grenade
of Antioch.
Right. That's right. God, that was one of the best weapons in Worms Armageddon.
Yeah.
That thing was just awesome. So that and explode. But in any case, so we're going to jump on over to the news desk. And this week we are the biggest news of this week is coming from kind of sort of Gamescom, but not technically. So we got a great big Indie World direct thingy. It's no longer an Indie Showcase. Indie World was the name that they were going with for like the indie showcases in Japan.
Yeah.
They can't seem to make up their minds which one they want to go with and fucking stick to one. So apparently this time,
I think it's all because it's not all on Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like not only on Nintendo. So they're trying to find this like happy medium where everybody just kind of like, okay, it's Nintendo too. So let's just,
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucking weird. But
But
anyway,
I want everything on the Switch. So does it really matter? Just bring it all to Switch.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
God, you guys are
but-
very demanding.
yes, we are.
Yeah.
It's we're exerting our gamer
Like,
privilege.
For like one of the first times in my history of gaming that everybody agrees with me. It should all come to Switch.
Yep. So, but there was some good stuff announced. Some of it accidentally leaked a couple days early. Some of it
Yeah.
was long rumored.
Yeah.
So they opened with, if I remember correctly, Super Hot was the opener.
Sure.
Super Hot got accidentally leaked a couple days prior
Yeah.
because they're like, "There's an update coming to Super Hot on Switch," and then it's like, "Wait,
Everybody's like, "Oh, Super Hot's
Yeah.
coming to Switch."
right?" Like, "Oh, that's the big PR." God damn it!
Oh,
Somebody got fired.
Fuck. Yeah.
Someone lost their job.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Ugh. Could have
But-
been worse. Could have been worse.
So Super Hot is supposed to be running pretty much on par with all the other versions.
Mhm.
Included now as well are motion controls. Oddly missing, however, is Labo VR support.
Which
for
would be
Super Hot.
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
That's okay though, because from what I've heard, is the Labo VR is kind of a hit and miss,
hmm
so it's okay.
I would have thought
Okay.
they'd have done
But I
that
think
though.
Super Hot would be a great game to showcase that because some of the other games I wasn't too sure. Super Hot would be a good game to
Yeah.
highlight the VR.
Super
level.
Hot
That's
on
a VR game.
I mean, on VR on PlayStation VR, it's fantastic.
So
Exactly.
I think it would work for the Switch better than some of the other VR that they're trying to do.
I think it's just
Honestly,
because
I
you
don't
have
know.
to hold the thing and play
Yeah.
like
That's
this.
true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta-
Again,
or-
why do we not
well-
have a fucking head strap for this shit? But whatever.
Well, just duct tape it around your head. I mean.
Right, exactly.
Electric cord,
Let's be
whatever.
honest.
You know,
Yeah.
and just use whatever we got.
You know,
you know.
Yeah.
tear the elastic band out of your sweatpants and so. But
If it still work, my elastic band wouldn't work. if
Yeah, I
take
was
it
gonna
off.
say
Right, they're all
not many
tied off
elastic
drawstrings.
bands are. We'll get a headband or something, you know.
Yeah.
yeah, just bust out a sweatband, make yourself look like an NBA sports star. So, but yeah, so Super Hot dropped right then and there, which is a fantastic get. I love Super Hot. Kathy loves Super Hot. Josh loves. Who the fuck doesn't love Super Hot? It's fucking Super Hot.
People
Well,
who
I
haven't
liked
played
it until I
Super
would
Hot.
start losing.
the people who don't like it haven't played it. That's pretty much it.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's just
they
fantastic.
haven't been infected by it yet.
Yeah,
So-
it's
Well, just
fantastic.
remember, somebody's cat can play Super Hot better than me, so
The-
that was still my all-time favorite comment I ever got in a stream. That somebody's cat could play
God,
the
I
game
forgot about that.
better than I could.
Oh goodness, I did I hear that until now? That's really funny.
Yeah, no,
for not
it-
hanging around stream.
Yeah, I need to hang
It-
around stream more. Yeah.
It was
Oh.
hilarious because I was really triggering him. It was a trigger apparently. My playing triggered them. Like I was worried I might have somebody who was just gonna go all ballistic. I mean he was joking with me, but it was really funny some of the stuff he
Oh
was
God,
saying.
it was. That was impressive.
I think that was also the day I got called Shamu, but that we don't talk about. That was
At least they had a name.
well, you know what? I'd rather be known as a graceful orca. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Instead of just calling you like Free Willy or something, you know.
Yeah.
Then you would, because people don't know what they're talking about. They just yell stuff.
Go, Willie, go! God, that
Yeah.
movie is so old.
Uh-huh.
I'm old. Damn.
You know,
Okay,
speaking of old, this was neat. I was fucking checking something out on this today. Speaking of old movies, do you know that Forrest Gump was actually like one of the first cinematic examples of like deep fake technology?
Sure, because
Yeah.
they
I
did
remember
like
being
Yeah, the
highlighted
thing with Kennedy.
with
Yep. with all of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
incorporating
like
him.
that's
That
fucking cool.
oh, I remember they did a whole back when TV was had not reality TV. They had like
Right.
a thing about Forrest Gump and the making of it, and
Yep.
I remember that was such a big deal.
Well, it was a huge deal. It was like it really floored, like, especially like when you first saw that. When you first saw that, when you first saw that, it floored you because that was something you were not used to seeing.
No, but then they put it into when we got all this HD stuff, you could really see.
Right.
It looks bad.
Right,
but no, it was amazing at the time.
Yeah, they had to do that shit like frame by frame. That shot took like 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it.
But it's amazing. And
but
think about where we're at now.
Yep. Now we got deep fake porn. So that's
why do you always equate everything back to that?
No, this is like a legit thing that's going on. Seriously.
No,
like,
I did not know this.
Yeah, no, it's like there's all kinds of legal shit going on around deep fakes and porn stuff lately, because the deep fake technology is becoming more and more easily accessible, and so now there's like celebrities and shit that are suing because people are like deep faking them onto like other fucking porn stars and videos and shit, and it's getting, and it's fucking gnarly.
This is what's gonna happen, is because like even people that have died,
like
they may have not licensed their likeness for
100
years or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are gonna use them, and then they're gonna sue, and there's gonna be all this stuff. I mean, it's just gonna be crazy. So
interesting, but no, I had not heard of that.
There was a recent deep dive on Philip DeFranco's new-ish deep dive channel, Rogue Rocket, about it. They've talked about it on the PDS a few times, but there was some solid deep dive stuff on it in the last couple days. So that's a solid, worthwhile watch if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend.
Oh shit! Okay.
Also, on the subject of recommendations, by the way, since we were talking Super Hot, for anybody that hasn't seen it, numerous months ago, Game Theory put out a great Super Hot piece too. That was really good.
Yes,
so
that is good.
Yes.
Yep.
But in any case, so beyond Super Hot, some of the other ones that we're looking forward to that came out of the Indie World Showcase, we were just discussing a little bit ago. The Tourist coming looks actually really neat. The trailer was really fucking weird. I'm still trying to wrap my head around exactly what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's got that whole voxel art thing going on. Like, I'm excited for The Tourist, but I am more excited to play that racing game that they showed in The Tourist.
Yes.
But I mean, it makes sense because this is the same studio that made Fast RMX. So they've got a good futuristic racing pedigree. So I'm totally hyped to play their little in-game mini retro racing game. But there's some other stuff in there that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got like some dungeon components and puzzles and all kinds of neat shit. So the Tourist was looking particularly excellent.
For me, it had a Roblox kind of feel to it, but not. It kind of, but doesn't. It just it was weird.
I see that.
That voxel art style. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So, I will say my next standout from the Indie World Showcase was Earth Knight. Looks hella fun. It's got a righteous like Sonic the Hedgehog vibe that I totally dig. Like you gotta watch it for about 15 seconds at a clip to really realize it, but when you do, you're like, that's totally fucking Sonic, but it's on dragons. I'm done with this. But yeah, I mean, it's like aerial Sonic on dragons, and I can't think of a bad thing to say about that sentence, that combination of words. So, I mean, it actually, it almost feels like it harkens back to specifically Sonic Rush on the original DS, because Sonic Rush had a little more of an aerial component to it than some of the other side-scroll Sonics did, really. It really pushed that whole bouncing from target to target midair thing way more than any other Sonic did, and it played really well. It worked It was mechanically sound. It was a ton of fun, and it made it so that the obstacles didn't feel like it was breaking your sense of speed per se. So, which I actually just loaned my copy of Sonic Rush to Molly because she likes the Sonic games. So I'm like, you haven't played this? You should, because up until Sonic Mania, this was probably the first really good 2D Sonic game since the Genesis. And
Sure.
it still holds up to this day tremendously well. And it also introduced a brand new character at the time, Blaze the Cat. So, is that your storm warning?
Actually, flash flood warning. We get those.
Fun.
Yeah, well, being around all the rivers, the Missouri, the Mississippi, things flood really quickly around here. So
We had that shit happen last year, actually. Lance and Anna got caught in the middle of that shit when the river came up. It like fucking
it's
yeah.
scary. I'll tell you, it is
No
a scary
joke,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, we've had interstates completely covered and closed.
Sure.
One of my coworkers, again, sorry, getting off topic, basically couldn't come in for a week because he lives south of where the bridge was closed and couldn't come in because he couldn't get north.
Mm-hmm.
All the roads were flooded. So yeah, it was crazy.
Oh fuck! True story from last year when the river flooded, and Lance got flooded out of his house. I drove out to help him get what he could out and get him moved out. And he fucking opened the front door into the yard that was completely underwater. Like you could see the fence, but the yard was gone. And he was like, "This is fucking bullshit." I heard him from like half a block away yelling, and you could see a fucking fish jump in the front yard, like 3 feet in front of him, out of the fucking water in the yard. He's like, "Oh, eat a dick." So
I shouldn't laugh but yeah, that's I feel bad for a lot of the people down here. We've had so many floods these last few years.
Yeah.
That I mean, so many people that they'll get everything rebuilt and then everything gets destroyed again. It's like they just cannot get a break. So yeah. Side note. Sorry about that.
So, Kathy, aside from the big doozy that we'll get to in a minute, because it ties to another story that cropped up in the last day or so as well. What was a big highlight for the indie showcase for you?
Aside from the ones that you guys mentioned, one that looks interesting that I definitely want to try is Europa. It just looked like an interesting puzzle game with differences in gravity, and I like the idea of how you are kind of like almost like a faceless thing, and then you add to yourself as you progress. So it's something I want to try. Let's see. It just, yeah, I mean, that's the best way I could describe it. It's like a puzzle, weird gravity puzzle thing. Let's see, what else I'm looking at. The other one that I'm really interested in, and I don't like them because I know we kind of talked about this, Larry. You had mentioned we had been talking about sports games when I came up to visit, and I'm not a big fan of like skating games and anything like that. That Skater XL game that they showed, that actually is something I would try because if that is actual gameplay, that's going to be a lot of fun. And I like how, like they said, no two tricks are the same. You could do the same thing over and over again, but nothing's the same, and it's very realistic. And I like those type of games. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays on the Switch.
Sure.
But it looks fun.
I gotta ask you, and maybe it's just me, but did that game look really fucking barren though?
It did. That was the other thing. It just, but it looks like a skate park. I'm sorry, those look like real skate parks. They look like
there
the
should
skate
be
parks
at least
that
like
I grew
some
up with.
people.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I'm like, something's not right.
Well,
like it hits that weird uncanny valley, but not in the terms of, but just in the terms of like nobody's there. It's like Walmart Simulator, but there's no people.
But it
It
makes
just
me
doesn't
wonder.
happen. You know something in your brain's going, something's not right, and I can't quite figure it out. And then it clicks, and you're like, oh, that's fucking weird.
I wonder if part of it is they couldn't put in the people because of just the mechanics. Maybe it's just too much.
Right.
So who knows? And then the other one was that what was it? I don't know how you say it, but I think it's called Roku or Roki.
Oh, yeah. Was it Hiroki? Or
Roki or
Hirokai?
some Rokai.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce it. I'm
Yeah, it's
so
got
sorry.
the umlaut over the
The
O.
umlaut, yeah.
Yeah.
Needs more
um,
umlaut.
That one also looked interesting, kind of along just the style of games I like to play. So there were actually more than I was thinking. There's not
That was the one with
they're
like the big.
interesting. There's stuff I want to try, and I'm hoping that because what I really like is that you get kind of playable demos, the free demos. I'm hoping that all those games have demos so I can try it because they're intriguing, but not necessarily ones I want to drop the money for.
Right.
Until I have a chance to actually try them, because they may appear to be good, but not really. So, yeah, but it wasn't bad. There are definitely some possibilities. They're either going to be really good or they're going to be really bad.
Right. There's going to be no in between on most any of those. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, Josh, what about you? What were some of the highlights? We're saving the humdinger for last here.
Okay, so Blasphemous. I kind of like that idea of that game.
Oh God, yes, dude! I've seen some stuff on Blasphemous that looks amazing.
So it's
Like,
this
aside
like
from
non
that.
yeah, it's like this non-linear action platformer.
Yeah,
It's kind of what I'm getting from it. And
the character, the animation, the story, all of it looks amazingly awesome and just ridiculous.
yeah.
Um,
So I mean, it looks very interesting, and I just really want to play it.
I was watching a thing on Blasphemous like a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I'm like, that's totally grotesque and fucking awesome.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the one with the dude with the
okay.
big weird fucking helmet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing that I saw, there was like a boss fight where after the end of the boss fight and you killed this boss, he takes the helmet off and he puts it like right in front of the fucking wound of the boss and it fills it with blood from dripping from the boss. Like fills this whole huge helmet with blood and then turns it over and puts it back on his fucking head. It just spills out the helmet all over him. Like, it's just ridiculous and absurd and I love every bit of that.
Yeah, it just seems like it's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be reasonably priced too. I guess it's gonna be like $25 when it comes out.
Yeah.
So
There was
I mean,
another one actually, the one after Blasphemous. That one looked good. Close to the Sun. That one looked interesting.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Josh. I was just
that's okay.
I'm watching the trailer for those
yeah,
to see.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
little
I forgot
highlight
about
reel.
Close to the Sun. That one I really like because it looked like one of my puzzle solving dark game type
Right.
crazy games.
Yeah. Oh, on a related note to Blasphemous, by the way, I did see that the one we were talking about a couple weeks ago, Valfaris is getting a physical.
really.
Yes.
Who cares?
I think the
Wait,
asking
you
on
guys
it's like
do.
$35.
It's
So
not bad.
no, it's not. It's basic standard edition fare, but yeah,
You
it's
guys
getting a
don't
physical.
need the physical copies of anything.
Yes, we
Physical
do.
Copies are not
Scott Pilgrim says
necessary.
otherwise.
Who?
Scott Pilgrim.
Who cares about Scott Pilgrim?
I do. That game's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And now nobody can
Games
play
are
it anymore.
overrated. They are overrated. The physicals. Why wait when you can pick them up right now?
Yeah, because now you can't get it anymore.
So I don't care. You see me, Karen? Oh no.
Next time you're over, Kathy, we're playing some Scott Pilgrim.
Sure, whatever. Okay, yeah. No, we aren't.
Well, no, did you ever play or did you dig like Castle Crashers?
Never played Castle Crashers.
Okay, you'll get a chance to rectify that because that is coming to Switch and it is amazing.
Who says I'm gonna buy it? I'm not getting
it's-
it.
Oh, you'd love Castle Crashers.
I probably would, but yeah, I'm kind of having to watch.
I feel you.
Games are not going to be probably coming my way for a long time, so that's okay though.
I feel you.
We'll survive.
Which-
Oh shit! I don't want to do that.
Which reminds me,
Excuse me.
don't die.
Oh!
You're dying.
I'm trying not. Oh, that's my person. Never mind.
Speaking of games on a budget,
I thought you said, speaking of not dying. Gonna
well,
say.
we can go with speaking of not dying too, because you can't die in this one either. So just a quick heads up for anybody that hasn't been paying any attention, but you should, because they've put out lots of good stuff for free. The next round of free stuff from the Epic Game Store is going to include Fez.
Yes.
Yes.
So
If you're not paying attention to the Epic Game Store, you're
You
missing
should
out
be.
on a lot of great free games that they've been
Yep.
dishing out. It
Yeah,
has
I agree.
been- I mean, even though I'm not downloading everything, I'm seriously just purchase it. You don't have to download it to your computer. Just get them
just bank
because
it.
I mean, seriously, the games that they've been coming out with, and they're all games that Larry, you've recommended to me back like 6 months ago.
Yeah, back when we first started.
So it's like, damn.
So, but no, we'll get back to some Epic Game Store news here in a little bit too. But anyways, Josh, other highlights. And if you don't say it, there's another one I know we talked about that hasn't been mentioned yet.
I like Torchlight 2. I like that.
That's
I
a
like-
fun game. That's good. I have it on the computer, so
You're a dungeon crawler loot fan, are you?
occasionally, yeah. Depends if I'm in the mood. I don't play it very often, but when I do, I've got both of them. My brother gave them to me for Christmas, so I started playing, and I'm like, okay, those are pretty fun.
Other
Actually,
than that, there's a couple others, but I know you guys want to talk about a couple of them, I'm sure. So
I was just gonna say, I saw. Speaking of dungeon crawler loot games, I saw the GameStop right by me actually still had a couple of the Loot Goblin amiibos for Diablo 3 in
neat.
store. I'm like, are you shitting me? Really? I almost thought about grabbing it just on principle because it was still there. But I'm like, no, I'll behave myself. And I'm not a big Diablo fan. It's not my thing. But
yeah,
but in any case, but no, others that grabbed you. Torchlight 2.
there's let me think. I think we pretty much talked about the ones that really got me, but other than, you want to talk about Ori or not?
Nah, before we get to that, there's one other out of there that deserves some talking about because it looks fucking awesome. I'm surprised you didn't mention it because this is up your alley as much as it is mine. Is the finger game?
No, the finger shooter game.
Oh my god, that looks awesome!
What is it called? I forgot what it is.
One Finger Death Punch.
Something
one?
like that.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was.
Hold on, I got it. I got the
Like the game.
Freedom Finger.
Yeah,
That's the one you're talking about. Freedom
that's
Finger.
the one.
Oh, Freedom Finger. Okay, yeah.
It's like a hand with a fucking finger gun out. And it's a
And you get to.
it's a
pick up
horizontal
things.
shmup game. Yeah.
And that's the
Nice.
one where you can pick up items.
Yeah.
Like, they're not. Yeah.
It
And you-
looks awesome. And it's got Joe DiMaggio. Fucking Bender is in this game.
Is that the one I'm thinking of, or is there a different one?
I don't know. That was the only finger game I can think
I
of.
thought there was another one.
There's another game that's called One Finger Death Punch 2.
No, this is Freedom Finger.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, Freedom Finger was in that showcase, and that was the first time I'd seen it. It looked awesome. The music looked pretty. It was sounding pretty good too.
I
I'm
hope
like,
I'm
I can
saying
get
the right
behind this.
one. Yeah, you are talking about the one where you're basically like a finger gun, right?
Yeah, it's finger gun, pew pew, shooty bang bang.
Not the stick figure one.
Yeah, not the stick figure.
Okay, all right, just making sure we're on the same page. Okay, because even that one finger
Yeah, that
death
stick
punch
finger
looks
one
fun,
looked neat too.
but
So
okay, no, you're
that
talking about the
stick
one
figure
where
yeah, the stick finger one reminded me of the like animation versus YouTube video that I showed you.
yes, I saw that. I was thinking like that. I thought that too.
So, but yeah, that looked hella awesome. I'm reasonably hyped for that as well. But so let's wrap up the indie showcase with the big long rumored announcement since like pre E3 this year. Ori and the Blind Forest is finally coming to Switch.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
September 27th. Still no word on if it's digital only because that question's been flying rampant since Monday. and nobody's actually answered it yet. But
Probably
you
will
know,
be digital.
it probably will be. But it is the definitive edition, though, which means
Right.
it has the extra content, like the extra couple of abilities and areas in the game as well, which is awesome. Um, so that's coming soon. Um, so that's one that I think will thrive on Switch because as
It
awesome
should.
as it is on
Yeah.
Xbox, I feel like it's not the right platform with the right audience for that game. I don't know. Something in my gut tells me it will sell better on Switch than it did on Xbox.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. I mean, I
So-
just think that the Switch is like made for this kind of game. So
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's that combination of like two things that don't really seem to thrive on, or almost three things that don't really seem to quite thrive on Xbox for whatever reason. Is one, it's indie, two, it's artsy, and three, it's Metroidvania. There's been a couple that have done well on Microsoft platforms, but as a whole, that's a genre that just never really quite seemed to take off on Xbox, save for maybe like Shadow Complex did really well.
right.
So,
I
there's
agree.
been a couple good ones there, like Ori and Shadow Complex, and Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. And I'm now struggling to think of any others that were particular standouts in that realm, but they're just not coming to me.
Hmm.
But on the backs of that announcement, though, yesterday, word came out from Microsoft that after Ori, they're not doing any more of their exclusives over to other platforms, including Switch. And so it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck just happened here? Like, we got Cuphead and Minecraft and now Ori, and clearly something was going well. I want to know what the fuck changed in an instant.
Well, Sony plays the exclusive game, so Microsoft's going to have to start playing it too. And I think that they realize that. It's going to have to.
I don't know. I mean, I could see this working for them if they kept it up, because
I mean, what else are they going to bring that will actually run on the Switch?
Well, here's the thing. They could reverse it. Nintendo might be willing, Nintendo screwed up. They could have reversed it and worked with them and brought some of their exclusives.
And they're never going to do that.
Well, you never know. Things are changing. They might consider it. They kind of got to start getting their asses a little bit. Oh, shit.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, that's
why?
true. Why? Yeah.
They're
okay.
selling Switches faster than they can make them.
I can tell you why it makes sense for Microsoft to do it, but not Nintendo.
Right.
Okay.
Here's where I'm thinking is
Okay.
that Nintendo's essentially dropped their additional 3DS is gone, so
Mhm.
Switch is now the only really handheld running in the market.
Right.
And so this is an opportunity for Microsoft to get in on the handheld side of things
True.
without having to do hardware. It's
Okay.
costly and may very well. It's like, let's look at it historically. Nobody has been able to dethrone Nintendo in the handheld game.
They haven't
I
even
mean,
tried.
Sony's
Vita
made a
tried.
couple of attempts.
Yeah.
I would say PSP and then Vita. PSP made a decent run of it at the time, but even then, there's issues of battery life, hardware durability, that
Mhm.
fucking UMD disc, which just killed the battery life because you're spinning a disc, and then
Yeah.
Vita was like, we made this thing, we don't care, fuck.
Yeah. Well.
So that was just left to die in a ditch somewhere tragically. But and I think honestly, Sony. This is one of those times you will hear me say, and it's rare, but I will say, Sony was fucking too far ahead of the curve with the PSP when they did the PSP Go.
Yes.
That had a better form factor to it. It was definitely more pocket friendly.
Yeah.
The screen wasn't protected still, but all the buttons and everything, the moving parts were. And by forgoing the disc, the UMD disc, they could perk up the battery life by not having to run that motor. But the problem was, one, we're still struggling to get to Kathy's dreamland of digital only.
It's not my dream world. Oh my god. No. Oh my god. It's not.
Seems like it's her dream world, though.
No. It's my preference.
So we're all
I
crying.
just make fun of you guys for being so about the physical, and I can't play the game because there's no physical copy. That's what I.
Well, look, that's not me. That is Eddie, and he's not here.
That's me. Sometimes.
Eddie and Larry.
Sometimes no, really, it comes down to Eddie, and I just feel like I am just this horrible person because I, don't understand, and I just feel so very kind of like I'm the redneck of the group because I'm not into this physical shit, and yeah, sorry,
But,
I'm salty.
So, but in any case, but the other place that Sony ran into a problem with the PSP Go though was that they had a digital storefront, but they didn't have everything on it. Like now, that's not an issue. I mean, if it's out, it's digital.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only way to get absolutely every game is if you're all digital. PS Vita or PSP Go was the exact opposite. Or PSP was the exact opposite. You could get some stuff digital, but if you wanted to be able to play everything, you had to go almost exclusively all physical with it.
Well, and PSP had a big problem too with piracy. Like,
yeah, it did.
you could just hook it up to your computer and download stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no reason to actually buy anything on that thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the Dreamcast in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
So, which reminds me, there's Mr. Wizard Reproductions. I'm going to throw him a shout out here. He and I have talked a little bit, and he's I'm dying now. He does some really cool stuff, including he's where I got my copy of AM2R physical. But he does gorgeous repro work and some really unique stuff. But he's been working on getting a bunch of ScumVM games running on and printed on Dreamcast discs. So
yeah,
there's some really cool stuff. He's got some really neat collections. So if you have not, you should totally check out his Facebook page and keep an eye on that if that's your cup of tea. He does just awesome stuff. But in any case, but back to the point here. What the hell is going on?
Kathy's gone.
I'm gone.
Or your video's gone.
No, I've still got her on video.
Oh,
I was gonna say.
It just ended on mine. I'm sorry.
Apparently.
I was gonna say I'm not gone.
So.
I was gonna say, what the hell? He wishes I was gone.
You know what happened is just my downstream must have just totally cut out.
He wishes I was gone.
But in any case, but yeah, like I said though, it's a chance for Microsoft to get in on that sweet handheld action without having to, run the risk of trying to get into the hardware end of it and competing with the juggernaut that just cannot be fucking stopped.
Sure.
It is Nintendo on handheld, even though they no longer even have a dedicated handheld in the market. They're still dominating that, and I can't foresee anybody really being able to dethrone that, especially the way the Switch is gone. And now they're actually going dedicated handheld next month with Switch Lite.
Yeah.
So, how do you shoehorn in on that? And so it kind of perturbs me a little bit to hear this news that, especially on the back of we're getting Ori and knowing that Ori 2 is coming out in February, and they're saying, yeah, that's not going to, why?
Something must have happened. Something must have happened between two, and we just will never know what was going on in the background. They probably, Nintendo didn't like what they were suggesting, or Nintendo got cold feet too.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's, as far as it being a one-way street, I can kind of see that though, because again, like I said, there's benefit to Microsoft from that angle, but I can't really see the benefit for Nintendo in several regards, because one, Nintendo so much makes their software specifically to suit their hardware. And
Right.
so many of their exclusives are not really workable on other platforms. And then two, I think maybe there's one or two franchises that might do better off of Nintendo's platform. Like, as much as it kills me to say it, I do think the Metroid series could benefit
It would benefit.
profusely from additional exposure on
And
those
older gamers, like older gamers.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. All of us that want to play it are already, playing Nintendo still because that's the fan base for that series. But I think it could be opened up considerably by expanding it over to Xbox. But by the same token, too, I don't know. I mean, it might tank there just because you see shooter on the box for Metroid Prime, but it's not really shooter, and so. I could see that kind of not getting received well at the same time. I don't know. I mean, by the same token, that indie doesn't necessarily always thrive that hard on Xbox, that might be up against the same issue.
Right.
So it's a weird coin toss, honestly.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's I don't know. I can see the benefit of Microsoft basically taking advantage of being able to go handheld without having to invest in hardware R&D and manufacture and production and distribution. But I'm really curious to know what the hell fell apart in the background. So
They probably wanted the rights to some of their characters,
it's
Nintendo
possible.
wasn't going to give them. Everybody's, that is the one thing. Nintendo has consistently created good, strong characters with good, strong games and backgrounds.
Yeah.
And that, you can't beat that. I mean, that's one thing Nintendo has been known for. So, not saying others haven't. It's just they really brought that to the forefront.
Right. It's a shame too because we finally had the potential promise of Rare being able to bring Banjo back to a Nintendo platform as well.
Right.
And now that's just had the kibosh put on it. But I mean, again, too, the statement was really kind of like oddly vague in terms of does this mean absolutely nothing, or does it mean this thing, or it wasn't super cut and dry. Like there's some weird room for interpretation if you read that statement precisely that they posted. So I don't know. I mean, maybe there's still something cooking. No idea, but. And I mean, Banjo Kazooie is still slated to be, coming to Smash, so there's that.
What specifically did they say again?
I don't remember.
No more plans for kind of exclusives coming, basically.
Okay, so it's not going to be exclusives. That doesn't mean they're not going to work with them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I said,
It says they have no plans to bring Xbox exclusives to Nintendo Switch or PS4.
Okay.
So I don't know, but
well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds.
Right. But in any case, so we talked a little bit about Epic Game Store again because Fez is going free in the next round of free games. Which for anybody that missed out on Fez last gen. Phenomenal game by Phil Fish. Go
play it.
You have exactly now zero excuse not to own and play the shit out of that game. It's amazing.
I am one of those never played it, so yes, I will be picking it up.
Solidly consumed like 6 weeks of my life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Oh no, I mean it's
no,
so
I mean I've heard
detailed.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it. I'm looking forward to getting it. Again, I'm just shocked at some of the games that keep popping up on the Epic Store that just out of nowhere.
Fez is one of the ones too that it feels horribly like there's just a gap missing that I wanted on my Switch. It has that right feel of just indie retro and beauty, and so. But again, like I said, it's another one of those games you can't die. So,
right.
I haven't played it. No, I'm kidding.
So, I mean, unlike the Neverhood, where it says you can't die, except that one spot that tells you will die.
You will die, and you do.
Do not jump down the hole, you will die.
That would be me.
So, but in any case, I've actually had some email communique with Phil, and it just 100% off the just stating that it existed. Very, very nice guy. Really cool dude. But it just we tried to talk him into coming on the show a while after the whole Fez 2 reveal and then shut down, in hopes that maybe things would and he maybe at least be willing to just kind of talk a little bit. But he said just like, I'll do respect, nothing against you. It's like I'm out of the industry altogether. Done. Nope. Done. I'm like, with what I can't say I blame him at all.
Yeah.
Like Phil got a fucking bad rap, and I think a wholly undeserved bad rap too. Like he got the short end of a shit covered stick all the way around. And for those that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I know, Kathy, I mentioned it to you if you get a chance. I don't know if the first one is still on Amazon Prime, but I think the second one still is. I highly recommend a great set of viewing material. Indie Game the Movie and Indie Game the Movie 2 are really cool because it follows Phil and Edmund McMillan and his partner that did Super Meat Boy, and Jonathan Blow, who did Braid, and then this was before The Witness at the time. On their road through development to release and publish of Fez and Super Meat Boy, and so it was really neat. It's a lot of really cool insight. But I mean, you really get to see when they're talking with Phil what it's like being on the receiving end of the community's bullshit and just asshole behavior in regards to the sense of entitlement to something that somebody else is making. It's like they don't owe you shit.
Right.
Knock it off, you whiny bitch babies. So and again, and what really kills me is knowing that kind of conduct and behavior and bullshit is the reason I'll never get to play Fez 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I kid you, there are random times, like maybe 3-4 times a year, there are moments where I think about Fez 2 and the fact that it will never come to be, and I just get like profoundly sad because I just, as much as I adored and just dove headlong into that wonderful world of the first Fez game, I'm like, I wanted to go back to that so bad. And I know it's just never going to happen, and it just makes me sad. I mean, fuck, imagine being one of the kids from Narnia. This world exists, and you'll never get to go back again. It's like that. So that's the only way I can explain it. And I really get like a heart-heavy feeling, and I've just, I've had moments where I've thought about like writing it, just a nice open letter to Phil, and posting it, but I don't know. Like the words are swirling in my head, but they never seem to quite land and form. But I don't know. But that's a weird tangent. But Fez is going to be free. Oh my God, go fucking get it and play it.
I agree.
I know. I got all like fucking serious and melancholy there for a minute.
Okay.
But yeah. So, not that I imagine he listens, but Phil, if you're listening, we miss you. I really want to play more Fez. I love you. I love Fez. So, and if you ever, get the inclination, we would still happily have you on because I would love to pick your brain someday. So, we have nothing but love for you here. So, this is one of the rare times these words will come out of my mouth. Phil, this is a safe place for you. This is a safe space. So, anyways, but back to the Epic Games Store. Just announced Oddworld Soulstorm is going Epic Games exclusive.
Yep.
So that's that's a solid get, but man, I am waiting for the tempers to flare. I
Yep. Yep.
Speaking of entitled gamers, right?
right. I mean, it's like, look, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and the devs get a bigger cut, which means more money gets funneled back into making the next game.
More games.
Yeah, I'm really not seeing
I
the
don't see the bad.
downside here.
I don't either. But
I tried to understand another person's view on it. I don't get it. I really don't. But part of me wonders if a lot of it has to do with the game Fortnite, and people are just
I think so.
boycotting Fortnite,
I
and
think so.
they're taking that and applying it to everything Epic. So
I do feel that some people think that Epic is stifling competition, but I don't think they understand competition
no,
at that point, because
No.
Steam is the one stifling competition.
yeah,
By holding everything hostage.
yeah.
And 30% of the revenue goes to them.
Mhm.
So Gabe is just holding all of his money
Yeah.
and basically trying to hold. And then now another billionaire comes in and says, "You know what? I don't care if I make that much money. I'm already a billionaire.
Yeah.
Let's just make more games."
Let's
Yeah.
make games available for the gaming community, and
Yeah, and I don't
Let's-
understand. I don't understand the big. I mean, I wish we had Dylan on here, or
yeah,
somebody that was more
who sees
adamant
that?
about it.
About that other side, because
But I don't see the bad part of it at all.
No, I don't either, because again, I have
I
got
do
some.
see some of it,
Okay,
but
then
it's
please.
very specific circumstance.
Okay,
So-
well,
There's been a couple spots where it's cropped up for like Kickstarter or Indiegogos,
mhm.
where people had backed and they were promised Steam keys, and then they retroactively go in and go, "We're going Epic exclusive," so everybody that wanted it on Steam to be able to enjoy it in that community with their Steam achievements and
okay.
Oh,
all the
yeah.
things that go
Yeah.
along with Steam, like
Yeah.
the trading card and whatever else they get into on that,
Okay.
and that's
That's
suddenly
where I forgot
gone,
about
and they've already got their money from that backing on, Kickstarter or wherever
Okay.
else.
Yeah.
That I get. That's shitty.
Okay.
Now, from what I hear on that is that, like, even on those games that have happened, is that they're getting either refunded or they can wait for the Steam version to come out.
Right.
So what's the problem? I mean, I understand if you had your hopes up and now you can't play it on Steam, but if you just get your money back.
Yeah. I mean, if they're refunding, that's one thing. I get it.
Yeah.
For those, it's like, nope, we got your money. Don't care. That's a full dick move.
Right.
But again, that's ire that should be held towards the fucking developer and publisher, not Epic. And I
Right.
have no special love for Epic over anybody else.
No.
I
No.
respect the fact that, in terms of what they're doing for developers, by giving them a bigger cut of the revenue share, that's awesome. That's how you fucking do it. That's how you draw that goodness in.
And I also think
But-
that's how you get innovation in the gaming space,
Mhm.
because they're allowing them to create, which is what creators want. They want to create. So
Right.
hopefully it keeps going.
Right. And I mean, the store isn't flooded with, copious amounts of just garbage like
Right.
Steam became.
Not yet. Anyway,
No, not yet. I mean,
it's probably coming, but
one day, hopefully it holds out, for at least a little while. But and it's not to say that the Epic Store is perfect by any means. I mean, there's still
no.
just basic rudimentary features that
Right.
are fucking missing. But, I mean, overall, I'm not doing a ton of shopping there per se, but I'll happily
Right.
keep it installed and get my fucking free shit all day long.
Mhm. Well,
Like,
that's just
Jesus,
it.
it's
Yeah.
free shit. Enjoy it. What are you
I
bitching
agree.
about?
I
Get some
agree.
free
God.
stuff.
Well, again, there's great games that have been made available for free that I know I wouldn't have been able to play. So
So, but yeah, that's
the fact that they're able to do it,
mhm.
take advantage of it.
Yeah, definitely. There's while we're on the subject, I feel like just as a common courtesy PSA for anybody listening, I feel like we should put out there just kind of a general listing of the places where our audience should be keeping an eye out for free games, for those on a budget. Or
Yeah.
hell, even if you're not on a budget, fuck, a free game is a free game.
A free game.
The
Yeah,
fuck?
take advantage of it.
Nintendo-wise, you're just not gonna fucking see it. Your free games come because you bought lots of other games and you got tokens to spend
But
on
they
these
do
stuff.
have great sales.
That
they
do.
have
Holy
great
shit.
sales,
Yeah.
and that is one place for a sale to look for. Not necessarily
Right.
free, but you can get some really highly discounted games that are really amazing. So,
Absolutely. But to the subject of free though, on Xbox you've got your games with gold. And I suppose it's not technically free. You're paying for it month over month, but there's been a lot of good stuff that they've given away. You're getting like what 3 to 4 games a month off that that are yours that are yours to keep even after you cancel your subscription. They're yours, done and done. You've got PS Plus, giving away free games every month. Though I believe those you don't get access to if your subscription lapses. Am I right in that? Or
yeah. Well, even the Xbox ones, the Xbox One games, you don't get access to. The Xbox 360 games, you always have.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not remember
weird.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking bizarre.
That kind of sucks, though. You get it, and then you can't play it if you. I don't know.
Well, it's the incentive to keep whatever service you have.
Right.
Yeah, I guess, but still.
And then you got PlayStation Plus. You've got your 2 free games now a month.
Yeah, something like that.
Because you got rid of the 360 or the PS3 and Vita games. So.
Right. But some others to look out for too. If you have Amazon Prime, you are getting free PC games every month. 4 of them at least.
Yes.
Because you can string your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account and you will get Twitch Prime for free, and they're doling out 4 free PC games minimum a month. I've gotten some really good stuff off of Twitch Prime. Yep. The offerings the last couple of months have been a little soft, but no, I mean I've gotten good solid indie heavy hitters like SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2. Super Hot I got for free off of there. There's been a bunch. Additionally, keep an eye out. Sign up for GOG's email newsletter. Because from time to time they throw out some good freebies. I picked up Obduction for free. That was an awesome little get. And it's not free per se, but Humble Bundle always has some really good packs in their their monthly subscription for Humble, which is like $12-13 a month. And then they do some other really cool game bundles and software bundles too. And even like some like ebook bundles that are really neat on all kinds of fucking topics. So there's a ton of really good stuff on Humble beyond just video games too. That if you want to branch out and explore a little bit, that you should totally fucking check out. So, but those are all things and places to watch for free fucking video games. I don't want to sit here and like exert that first world privilege thing, but I mean Amazon Prime is a pretty basic that I won't say most, but I will say a ton of people do have, and I think it's one of those things that a lot of those people don't realize. Like, you're literally getting free shit that you're just letting go because you didn't fucking hook it up. Yeah. So it's like, God, even if you're not going to play it on your PC, you never know. It's once it's in your library, it's yours, done and done. Now I will say, to Dylan's point, it is another launcher that you're going to need because while the games will show up in like your Steam library, you can't launch them from your Steam library. You have to launch them from the Twitch app.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, not the end of the fucking world here.
And it's not like you're paying for those.
Exactly.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I forget how many launchers I have. I have like 6.
It's just there. So, but yeah, and I mean
I lost you guys for a minute.
I don't know. I've still got both of you. So
I lost you for a minute. My my stuff froze.
No. But
Sorry.
anyways, I feel like we're gonna get a little long in the tooth here if we don't cut it here. So let's wrap this sumbitch up. Keep it protected and stop this show from reproducing.
I almost went the entire episode without having to do this, and you blew it.
The good news, though, is that this episode is ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah, this was no pleasure.
So, but in any case, thank you to everybody that tuned in, either on YouTube. I know we weren't on Twitch this week, but on our YouTube channel, on audio, on Podbean, and Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, iHeart Radio, Spotify, all those wonderful things. Even though that we weren't streaming this week's episode on Twitch, you should totally jump on our Twitch channel because we've got more stuff going on. I know by the time this is up, I'll have had another couple days to a vacation left to go out and bang out some more streaming on there. Like I said, I ran out like 3 hours of Hollow Knight earlier today, and there'll probably be some more Hollow Knight before I go back to work on Saturday, as well as oh god, like I said, I'm thinking maybe some SteamWorld Dig 2, and likely get back to some Euphoria and get back to getting my ass kicked and try and break through that wall there where I left off weeks ago. So, and I know Josh, you said you were looking to get command prompt up and running again, functional.
Yep. Yeah, it's happening. I just gotta get into it and get everything going because I had to take down my retro PC, so right. I gotta get that thing. I just I'm moving stuff around.
I was gonna say your office looks a little different. Mm-hmm. Your game room.
Well, it looks a little different too because I got a new light in here. So the new light. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So the light is actually bright. So
it's a bright light. Light bright. Oh, I loved those. Okay.
But
nostalgia.
And then when my copy of The Messenger comes in, we'll get to have an unboxing for that as well. I know it's been a little while since we've had anything.
We haven't had one.
While. There hasn't been much really going on that's really.
Nah.
Yeah.
I think the next thing I'm gonna get that I'm probably gonna do. I've got to do an unboxing for. It's gonna be Death Stranding Collector's Edition.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that. So
I'll do that, but that's coming in November, I think.
Yeah, it reminds me. Did you see the bad news on Death Stranding that you won't be able to see Norman Reedus's penis?
Yeah, that's okay with me. Yeah.
So.
Aw, what a shame.
I'm gonna say my only disappointment is that we weren't gonna get the last installment of the Metal Gear series. Metal Gear Solid 6. Vein Snake.
Or Metal Gear Solid, just call it. There you go.
Metal Gear Solid Snake, yeah. Metal Gear Solid Vein Snake, that's what it was. There it is.
It's so veiny.
That's right. So, but in any case, so thank you to my partners in crime this evening, Kathy and Josh. And as always, we'll be back. We're around. We're never really gone or far. Thank you for tuning in to the least listened to or the best video game podcast that nobody listens to. As always, you can help change that and make the world a better place by subjecting your friends, family, loved ones, and people that you hate to us, as you should. And the bigger we grow, the more fun shit we get to do, which means more entertainment stuff for you, and maybe eventually something comes around that we get to start doing more cool stuff and giveaways and all that fun crap, and it makes it easier to wrangle in cool guests like Matt Bittner from a couple weeks ago, and that result in some fun giveaways like free games and stuff to boot. So subject your friends to us. Just tie them to a chair and just put the headphones on and leave them in the room for a couple of hours and come back and check on them. Just water them once in a while. They'll be fine. So, but in any case, let's wrap this up. Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
night.
Peace.